Hi, and welcome to Coffee Break, Episode 6. We are your hosts, Annie,
Corey,
and Hannah.
Alright, today we're going to be talking about some Disney movie theories, how they all relate to each other, some conspiracy theories, and it's going to be a good day. Y'all be sure to check out our Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter at FS Coffee Break, and on to the Disney. We're going to start with the theory talking about Monsters, Inc. and Brave. So the theory about that is that Boo from Monsters, Inc. is actually the, witch lady from Brave. How do we feel about that, guys?
Wow. I can see it too, honestly.
Because, she's, all making doors and stuff.
Yeah.
And, and there was a picture that, it showed that in, one of the little scenes, there was, a little bear on one of the carvings that looked like Sully from Monsters, Inc.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both kind of crazy. So.
You said that there was something that doesn't make sense about it? Right?
What do you mean?
Her technology.
Oh, yeah, her technology. I see, what happened?
What if...
because she's a witch, maybe she started studying witchcraft and was just I'm going to go back in time to see if I can redo everything, or, you know?
What, you know how, I think Meet the Robinsons happens by Disney, right?
Yeah.
What if... Because they have a time machine, basically.
Yeah.
And they took her back in time.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're in, Brave's time period.
But the woman should be old.
Well, she grew up.
Oh, and then they went back?
Then went back?
And she's trying to... I'm confused.
I am too.
Maybe. I don't know.
I haven't heard that Meet the Robinsons in the kind of universe thing. You know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think it's, definitely possible. But that Boo is the witch lady. What do you guys think? You think it's possible? You think...
Anything's possible.
I think it's completely possible. The thing about Disney is they do such random movies at times, you know?
Right.
Pixar, they have such a structured kind of clean cut. It's what, blank has feelings. What would it be if blank has feelings?
Mm-hmm.
So, Toy Story and, WALL-E and... Was WALL-E Disney or Pixar? I don't know.
I think it was Pixar.
Anyway, Up and stuff like that. Anyway.
Or was it that one, which one has the lights that jumps up and down? Is that Pixar?
Yeah, that's Pixar.
Yeah,
that's
it was
Pixar.
Pixar.
It's only one light.
They have such a...
I said the light.
Oh, I said lights.
I said lights too. But they have a structure. Disney doesn't seem to have a structure rather than just going by old stories, you know? So they could be intertwining it kind of like Marvel did with the Avengers and stuff like that. But I'm unsure at this point. But this could be completely plausible.
And the other one that I saw on the same website was the one about Toy Story. About Andy's mom.
What?
Yeah.
Tell me.
You know Jessie, the girl, the cowgirl?
Yeah.
Okay, so Jessie talks about how when her owner grew up, she got rid of her, you know?
Uh-huh.
And in the, little clip that it shows, kind of like their throwback.
Yeah.
Where they're on the tire swing, the girl's wearing, a matching hat, the red with the white, and that's the hat that Andy wears that could have been his mom's.
Oh, my God.
And it said, something about how she's from the 50s, and all the decor in the house, kind of matches that.
Yeah, and then I remember in Toy Story, whenever she was in store Toy Story 2, when the old guy, when the fat guy, he's like, how much for this? And she's like, it's a family, heirloom almost, you know?
Yeah.
So she could have had the matching set because it was a TV show.
Right.
Woody's Roundup. Oh, that's so weird. Oh, sorry. This is me when I'm finding out of new things.
And it's crazy. And it talks about how, like, we never figure out her actual, like, name. Like, we never figure out her first name. Because it talks about Jesse's owner, Emily.
Yeah.
But they never, like, call the mom by her name, like her first name. So.
What's Andy's last name?
Ooh.
I don't know either. Weird.
I think that one's cool. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's definitely, like, someone really thought about that to put that together.
Yeah.
But I can definitely see it now.
Mm-hmm.
You
know? I know of... There's the conspiracy theory of, like... Not of a Disney movie, per se. But... What is it about? Sorry.
Okay.
I think it's about Disney, like Walt Disney being frozen. Or, like, he's frozen in the park or something like that. Like, actually.
Like his full body or his head?
His full body or something like that. Is it just, have you heard just the head?
Well, I'm thinking of, like, when Nickelodeon was making fun of that theory.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Yeah. Nickelodeon.
on iCarly.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it was a different studio that was making something similar to iCarly. Is there a show similar to iCarly? We're off topic.
So, yeah, on to the next one. Do you want to say that?
Yeah. For the next conspiracy theory of Disney's, I think we are going to talk about how Disney is possibly a part of the Illuminati.
Possibly.
Possibly. So don't quote me on any of this, okay? Don't. Like, I don't feel like getting into any of that. But on the Disney logo, I noticed that it changed one year from the original to now, I think. And the original didn't look like this. It just had like swirls and stuff like that on like the D's and stuff. But nowadays it's like the Disney logo it looks like 3 6s, basically. If I can pull it up right now, I could show you guys.
No, you can't. No, you couldn't. You could show us.
I could show my fellow people that are here. Anyway, here's the Disney logo. Okay. And, okay, so, like, here's a 6, here's a 6, and here's a 6, basically.
Wait, where?
Okay, so the D, there's a 6.
Does look like a 6.
Oh, like backwards?
I
Okay.
can see it.
And then the 6 above the I.
Okay.
I. E-Y-E. Illuminati. And then the 6 on the Y. And, yeah. I could list that into many things. I might just be, like, paranoid or something. But, they look like 6s. And then also the fact of, like, they're, people have claimed a lot that, like, the Disney things that they were, like, molested or something like that. And then there was also the fact of, like, old Disney movies were very, like, creepy and suggested many things. I remember there was this one that was, like, a cauldron thing, and it had, like, hints of, what is that called? Child, like, adults touching children. Pedophilia. There you go. It had, like, hints of that and stuff like that. And then, yeah. Now on to the next one. I think we're going to talk about the main conspiracy theory that this whole thing was going to be centered around. It's the one that everything is in the same universe, or, like, mostly. Annie, do you know?
I'm talking about the Disney movies, how, like, Frozen relates to Tarzan, and that relates to Tangled and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so in the Frozen, what the one connecting that to Tarzan is is that while their parents were going to the wedding or whatever, when the boat all crashed and stuff, they washed up, and so like saying she was pregnant pretty much, and had Tarzan and got eaten by the leopard.
They didn't get eaten. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they just died.
But they found Tarzan as a baby. You feel?
I mean, yeah. Okay, so I'm pretty sure, because I've watched Tarzan a couple of times, that Tarzan, he wasn't. I don't know if he was born on the ship because he was so young.
What the theory was saying is that they had washed up and then had him there.
Oh.
And then they were eaten.
But in Tarzan, they were going off the boat, and she had him in her arms or whatever. And the mom was a redhead, and then the dad had brown hair and stuff like that. So I could see that.
Yeah.
Then there's the one that would bring us back to Boo and the witch or whatever. That the fact of the witch being Boo and stuff like that, but it's connected to Monster Inc. and her trying to get back and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then you would connect what else was there?
Frozen is connected to Tangled because of the scene where...
And the Little Mermaid, apparently.
The scene where Flynn and Rapunzel were going to Elsa's coronation.
It's Coronation Day.
Or, okay, this is another one saying that Elsa and Anna's parents were going to the wedding. That was Flynn Rider and Rapunzel's wedding from Tangled. And they died at sea, so this would be another one. Instead of it being Tarzan, saying that this is the boat that Ariel discovered in The Little Mermaid.
Okay.
I have a problem with that.
What is it?
Because if they were going to Flynn and Rapunzel's wedding, and you see Flynn and Rapunzel on Elsa's coronation day, that would mean that Flynn and Rapunzel would be a lot younger back whenever they died.
What?
Because Elsa and Anna were younger whenever their parents died.
Yeah.
And
saying Flynn and Rapunzel would have been younger.
Flynn and Rapunzel would have been older whenever they went to Elsa's coronation, but they looked the same as they did at the end of the because it was it would have been right after, because if you see some of the newer Tangled Ever After stuff,
Mm-hmm.
She has her long hair back, longish hair back, and it's blonde. So
this one, I get that. I really do. Okay, I understand that. This one is the one about Tarzan's parents, saying that they didn't die and they escaped from the shipwreck or whatever, made it onto an island, had a son, and then were killed by the leopard. And so saying, basically, that Tarzan again is that.
Timelines kind of match up, honestly.
This one saying is the king of Arendelle is actually Rapunzel's uncle, and the magic only affected blonde children and their family. And it says Rapunzel and Elsa were both blonde. If Elsa's dad was Rapunzel's mom's brother. Okay, there we go. Then it would explain that he wanted to hide Elsa's power, since both of these magical girls are blonde.
So you're saying that the king of Arendelle is her uncle, and her dad is the one who had Rapunzel, basically.
Right.
And so Rapunzel's dad probably split them up for some reason, because he probably found out Elsa had powers before Rapunzel.
But Rapunzel's powers came from the flower.
Yeah. Which is the sun. But Elsa's
that one
ice.
doesn't really make sense.
I don't understand.
Jane from Tarzan is actually
Debunked.
Belle and the Beast's granddaughter. They look so much alike. It was also printed out that Jane could understand Tarzan, who was kind of animal-like or beast-like, just as Belle would understood the beast. And it also says that in the plates at the campsite in Tarzan are like the same ones from Beauty and the Beast.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of crazy. Saying how Belle could understand the beast, and whenever she met Tarzan, she could understand Tarzan. How Jane could understand Tarzan.
Yeah.
And then all the teapots and stuff, and like the cups were all the same.
And it's kind of like how Belle had the yellow dress, and then like, and people in Tarzan call Jane the off-brand Belle.
Yeah.
Poor Belle. Let's see what else is there.
We're looking through right now, you guys.
Okay,
It's like, some of this is like, it makes sense, but it doesn't, you know?
Right. Especially when you're talking about how she gets her powers from the flower and stuff.
But about the Toy Story, like Emily being his mom, if you think about it like in real life based, he had the hat in Toy Story 1, and there wasn't plans to make a Toy Story 2 yet.
Mm-hmm.
So they wouldn't have known that that was going to happen at the time.
Probably not, no.
Unless they had, like, completely thought out Toy Story 1 through 3 already.
I don't know, but I think now that you look at it, though, like, that makes so much sense, though.
Yeah.
To be like, okay, well, that was, like, a hat, you know, that matches Jessie's hat. And then Jessie talks about how her owner, like, got rid of her when she got older. And then all the decor matches the time frame about, you know, that she'd be old enough to be Andy's mom, but also old enough to, like, you know, have all these things. And she did have them in the house, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Makes sense, yeah. For some reason, the thing of, like, oh, plus Andy's mom is blonde, and the little girl that owned her was blonde, too. Anyway, it makes me think of, like, Toy Story 3 whenever, like, the bear, I forget his name, got left behind by his owner, or whatever.
Yeah.
I haven't heard... Huh?
Hugs a lot?
Yeah, I think that's his name. But that makes me think of that. We're looking at these theories. Oh, there's the flexible time theory. So basically, of Aladdin. So, Aladdin, there's been theories, I don't know if I've mentioned it or not to anyone, that that it's set in the future. Because, whenever the genie gets out of his thing, he's like, is it 10,000 years can give you such a crick in the neck? And, like, it sounds jokingly, but people are taking it seriously, you know? So they're saying that it's set in the future after, like, an apocalypse has happened, and that, like, everyone has reverted back into old technology, and that everyone's bartering and trading because money's no longer a thing. And the way they justify it is because the genie, he brings out all of these, like, new age products, you know? Like, there's, like, a plane and, like, lots of, like, new things. I can't quite remember.
Flying carpets.
I mean, that too, yeah. But it's just, like, it's crazy to think about if you, like, want to consider it true, that, like, Aladdin is set in, like, a dystopian future, and, like, after a lot of people are dead and, like, they barely repopulated and stuff. It sort of makes sense to a point, I feel. There's that. But I can't connect Aladdin right now to another universe. Alright, now I'm going to kind of finish up the theory.
Any more connections that we could throw in at the last second?
I'm really thinking, and I can't, like... The Little Mermaid and Rapunzel are connected, along with Tangled and Frozen. Okay. Then there's the Little Mermaid connected with Tarzan, and Tarzan connected with Frozen. Okay.
The Little
So
Mermaid
that
is
means
connected to Tangled, Tarzan, and Frozen.
Yeah. So it's mostly kind of that. Oh, and then everything leads back to Brave. Like,
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brave and Monsters.
So,
Brave
It
technically could be connected to Meet the Robinsons, based on our how she got back in time part of the theory.
could be connected to that. And then I'm thinking. See, like, I think it might be just be like that type of universe, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because the Lion King and stuff like that, I don't think it's connected, or like
The Lion King could be connected to
The Lion King 2.
well,
I'm just kidding.
The Lion King could be connected to can't think of the movie. The one it came out like a year ago.
Moana.
No.
Moana.
Try Everything. Shakira.
Oh,
Zootopia.
Zootopia. And Zootopia could be connected to the...
How do you connect it to Zootopia, though?
Because they're animals that can talk and rule areas.
So basically, the way that's connected is through Cars, and Cars through Finding Nemo. So basically, that there was a nuclear apocalypse, they say, okay, or something like that. There was something bad that happened, okay, that allowed animals to talk and have really, like, intelligence, basically.
Right.
I forget which movie allowed that. But it led into, like, Finding Nemo and stuff like that, where it shows that fish also have intelligence, and then there's also the part of, like, Cars getting intelligence and then being, like...
Wall-E?
They can talk, yeah. Wall-E's connected, too. So they can talk. And the fact of, like... that there was like a nuclear apocalypse and that cars were like there because like radiation took over too bad and humans couldn't live on Earth anymore. That leads into Wall-E, and Wall-E being like the rest of the humans going into space because the Earth was so polluted and like the only cars could live there basically, and robots.
That makes a lot of sense because even the car that's taking Lightning McQueen to his race, you know, when he gets lost, is like a car driving, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like a person driving the car.
Yeah.
And then there's the one Robin Hood movie.
I never even watched
Thor
that.
with the Fox.
Yeah. That could be connected as well.
I've never seen it.
Doesn't he steal stuff? Like, isn't he kind of like a thief?
Yeah.
So he's
what
basically
Robin Hood is.
Aladdin. Basically. That was like, what were we talking about?
Except for Robin Hood steals from the rich and gives to the poor.
Yeah. Aladdin steals for himself because he can't eat.
Right. That's like us talking about how Elsa is basically Spider-Man. Kind of.
Oh, my shoes nodded.
Okay.
Anyway,
So...
that was like the interesting theory that I found on iFunny of all places. It was like it kind of like coalesced really like gracefully the way that they explained it. I did not explain it right, but they included like Brave and Tangled and Frozen and like everything, and then, like Moana. Like it's because Disney doesn't give a set time period. You can see the time period with what they have,
Right.
but sometimes like you just don't know because all there is like a castle or something. It's crazy. My shoes nodded.
Well,
If I think that's the end of the show, you guys.
Did we already talk about that? The Instagram?
well, we just talk about it again.
Be sure to check out our Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, at FS Coffee Break.
Check out our YouTube channel at Coffee Break
If you're
and
not
like
there.
and subscribe.
If you're there, check us out on the podcast app.
And we'll link all of that down below in the description.
Bye!